What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 50, and I just want to start the episode by saying thank you so much for all the support on this series so far. 50 episodes in, can you believe it? It feels like we started a series a week ago, and I want to say thank you for all the love, all the kind comments, all the support since the series began. It's been an amazing journey. We're 4.5 years in, and there's still a long way to go. So, if you're a new viewer to the channel, this is the first series of mine you watched, you'll probably be thinking, what's so significant about hitting 50 episodes? Well, in my series, when we hit 50 or 100 episodes in a series, I do a thank you special, a long video, just to say thank you for all the support on the series so far, and this episode is no different. So we've got 8 games, there's some absolutely massive ones, we've got transfer deadline day, the remainder of the January window, and it's 30 minutes long as well. So if I were you, right before our first games today, the Sky Blues, Coventry City, FA Cup third round here at the Ricoh Arena, I'll pause the video, go and make a cup of tea, get yourself a sandwich or something, because this is going to be a great episode. Really hope you guys enjoy it. Took a long time to make. If you can leave a like, show appreciation, I'd appreciate that. But I really hope you guys enjoy this. 50 episodes in, and a long way to go. So yeah, first of 8 in today's episode, and we come on the back of the game of the series. What a way to start episode 50. Yeah, the thrilling 5-3 victory at Anfield in the EFL Cup semi-final. First leg against Liverpool. How are we going to follow that on? Well, FA Cup third round, Coventry City, the Sky Blues having a great season this year in the playoffs right now in the Championship, aiming to get back to the top flight in God knows how long, since the 90s. So yeah, taking on the Sky Blues here. Obviously, we've known that since Tony has come back, his return has been, let's say, subdued, primarily due to the great form of Gutierrez and, of course, Lookman, who's been an amazing signing from Leipzig last season. But in the first half of very few chances, Lamptey getting an injury was basically the most noteworthy thing that happened in the first half. Ivan Toney bends one in, gets his second goal since returning from the broken toe, and then not long afterwards, Ollie Watkins doubles our lead, makes it 2-0, and at this point, progress was basically secure. To be fair though, like the Sky Blues in this game, obviously I thought this was going to be a bit of a walkover, and again it took a long time to get going in this one, but it was one of those games, and you have them in FIFA quite often, where it's like the longer it goes on and you're still tied at 0-0, whether you're massive favourites or not, you start to think, you start to doubt, is this just going to be a game where I just can't get the breakthrough, and in the end suffer the embarrassment of not progressing through? Thankfully, in the end, it wasn't the case. Once you get the first goal, the pressure's kind of off, do you know what I mean? Like, the first 45 minutes just didn't really manage to create any chance at all. Coventry were just so stubborn, like, defensively. They were sitting so deep, I couldn't break them down. It was so frustrating. But once you got the first goal through Toney, kind of just eased off the pressure for me a little bit. And after Watkins bagged the brace, that would secure it. We are through to the 4th round, and there is our draw. We've got Cambridge United, the League One side, in the 4th round of the FA Cup, and I'm sitting there wondering, is it going to happen again? You know, last season we got all the way to the FA Cup semi-final, getting to the Final Four, losing to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Red Devils, who eventually went on to win the competition. But before we got to Wembley, before we got to the semi-final, we faced the Football League side in every single round. We didn't get a Premier League team until it was Manchester United. So I'm thinking, is it going to happen again? First Coventry, now the League One side, Cambridge United away from home. At home even. Are we going to face a Football League side every single round again into Wembley? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Still, second game of 8 in today's episode. Back to matters in the Premier League. Desperately trying to cling on to a top 4 place. Now we're into the second half of the season. Taking on Graham Potter's Brighton away from home. You know, this season they're a newly promoted side to the division after their relegation in Season 2 and instant promotion in Season 3, but they are a tough team to face. I've got to be honest here. You saw the reverse fixture at the start of the season. That was, I believe, our second home game of the campaign this year, and we drew it 3-3. And heading into this game, despite being big favourites, I just couldn't stop them. Every single time they came forward, I just could not stop them getting clear-cut chances, and this was quite a frustrating goal to concede, to be fair. Tried to intercept Wanyeka, and I tried to clear the ball away. We just stopped, and Wapu runs onto it and smacks it past Balo to make it 2-0. Bit of an unfortunate goal, but just one of those things. Brighton leading by 2 at the break, and I hadn't got started in this game. I just really wasn't up to the task in this one. So second half, facing the prospect of a big shocking defeat away on the South Coast, needed to respond, and on the stroke of the hour mark with half the deficit, Roberto Gutierrez makes it 2-1, gets us back in the games he so often does, and gives us a glimmer of hope. Half an hour to go, plenty of time, and 9 minutes later, a chance to make it 2-2. Once again, we're utilising the pace, and Buemo and Gutierrez playing the 1-2. Through goes the French forward, but denied. Should have bent it in. Took way too long to take the shot there. One of those moments where you've got too much time, if you know what I mean, and you start to overthink it. Fluff my lines. Brighton still leading by 1. And I was thinking I'll probably get more chances, but my concern was I couldn't stop Brighton, and that was the case. Just a few minutes after we could have levelled it. What a swing. From going possibly back on level terms to now back down by 2 goals. 3 minutes after the miss, Ben Yedder now at Brighton. Such an interesting signing, makes it 3-1 as the host restored their 2 goals. And I was thinking, okay, it's surely over now. I can't stop Brighton, and I'm struggling to create too many more chances. But 9 minutes to go, kept myself in the game. 1-2 between Tony and Roberto, and the Uruguayan bags his brace, smacks it in, and I was thinking, alright, 8 minutes to go, there's still time. And clearly, as we've seen throughout the course of the series, or at least in these last 3 seasons, we might not be able to defend, but we can always get chances. So a couple minutes later, still down by a goal, Roberto, who was just pulling the strings out there, rolls it through to Tony, get in, who bangs it in to the bottom corner and levels it. And after fluffing my lines with Mbuemo earlier, I was thinking that was the chance. I messed it up once Ben Yedder made it 3-1. It was game over, but no, I've mentioned this before and I'll say it once again. Nowadays in FIFA, never give up. And I know you should never give up anyway, don't get me wrong, but late goals in FIFA, I noticed it a lot more last year to be fair, but they are incredibly common. I don't know whether it's a mental thing, a psychological thing, or whether in general late goals are just easier to score, but I really do feel as though since FIFA 21 and now in FIFA 22, late goals just seem to be so common to be scored and also conceded as well. So even if you're down by a couple of goals and there's 10 minutes to go, don't throw in a towel. Don't think the game is done. No, go all out. Keep on pushing because you might just get rewarded for it. We did. Roberto with 2 goals and the assist, and Tony, first Premier League goal since returning from the broken toe. I'll be honest here. Because of the form of Roberto Gutierrez, our top scorer this year, and Ademola Lookman, who's been a great partner in crime, I am starting to wonder in this second half of the season. I know it's a very big risk, but I'm thinking about potentially benching the captain and starting Roberto and Lookman together in most of our games. I don't know. Lookman is a rating lower, but he scored more goals than Ivan this year. Again, primarily because of Tony's 3 months absence with a broken toe. I don't know. I mean, look, Tony scored 33 goals last season in the Premier League. Or was it 34? Might be 34. It was a new record anyway, so it would be quite harsh to bench the shocker, the captain, the hero of our Sheffield United career mode, and still probably the most influential player in this team. But I'm just thinking about the future. Ivan is 28 years old. That's still incredibly young, believe me, but I'm just thinking maybe if it's time to give Roberto the strike partner he ordinarily operates with consistently in the second half of the season. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, for the third game of today's episode, Crystal Palace here coming to the Community Stadium, aim to get back to winning ways in the league, and we seem to have no problems in this one. Brian Mbuemo made up for his miss in the Brighton game, banging in our first, and then Josh De Silva bags our second right before the break. You would have seen in this game Tony was benched for it, so De Silva took the captain's armband, and whenever Tony's not playing, if De Silva is, I'll give him the captain's armband. I really like him as the vice. You know, I genuinely do. He's got bags of energy. He runs all game long. He just seems like the perfect sort of stand-in for Ivan Toney when Tony's not out there to captain the team. But anyway, we made it 2-0. We had a chance to make it 3 soon after the restart. We were still leading by 2, and Balo kept a clean sheet intact late on as well, denying Jordan Ayew to pick up another one. And I'll be honest here, I mentioned it before, he had a tough start to life in the Premier League, Justin Balo. Since then, he has really picked it up. Big save there, keeps the clean sheet, and that would do it. 2-0, the final score, and a big win over Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. We return to winning ways. Following that, another bid for Axel Tuanzebe. I'm not going to spoil it, but another bid for Axel Tuanzebe, which we rejected. And also Ethan Pinnock as well. He's agreed to leave on a free transfer come the end of the season, as we're also going to loan out Pert Harris to Ajax on a short-term loan. This will go through as a short-term loan, as you'll see as the episode goes on. But yeah, Ethan Pinnock, he is off come the end of the season. I will be totally honest, I'm a bit disappointed about the destination for realism. He's going to Argentina. And it's a bit like, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, but it is a little bit unrealistic. So I was thinking when the initial contract was given to Pinnock and he was debating whether to sign or not, I was thinking about giving him a 1-year extension and possibly looking to sell him to like a football league side. But in the end, I decided to let him make his own mind up, and yeah, he's going to Argentina for the final years of his pro career. Fair enough, but again, mentioned it so many times, and I'll say it once again, from Dulwich Hamlet to the Premier League. Now to Argentina. What a career path for Ethan Pinnock. Anyway, for the fourth game of today's episode, FA Cup 4th round, Cambridge United. You will see in pre-game right now they're in the relegation zone in League One as they're commentating on the community stadium. So felt very confident playing into this game, rotated most of my side, took the lead through Ollie Watkins, making it 1-0. He scored more goals in the Cups and in Europe than he has in the Premier League this year. He gave us the lead and there were 15 minutes to go. And again, we were in complete control, really. Other than one save for Raya, we've been the better team. We got a little bit of fortune. Shot well saved, the clearance not fully cleared and dealt with. And then Jesse Lingard gets our second goal. Massive deflection on its way in. So he claims it, but yeah, without the deflection, it probably wouldn't have gone in. But hey, we'll take it. Sooner the final score through to the FA Cup 5th round. And again, you look at the stats there, in complete control from the very first whistle, really. So, FA Cup 5th round, last 16. And the question on everyone's lips is it going to be another Football League side again? We'll touch wood. Fingers crossed that'll be the case. Hey, listen, we are 90 minutes away from a place in Wembley in the Carabao Cup semi-finals right now. Can you imagine getting to Wembley 2 times in the same season? Possibly 3 if we could go and reach the FA Cup final. We call that our second home at that point, but even so, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the draw gives us. Following that, we negotiated the loan of Pert Harris. He is indeed going to go to Ajax on a short-term loan deal, so that'll be until the end of the season. And there was another bid for David Raya as well. We have quite a few bids for the Spaniard over the past couple of years. Obviously, our number one this season has become our Cup and European goalkeeper, with Justin Baylor coming in from Feyenoord and now becoming our starting goalkeeper in the Premier League. But I'm not going to sell him. I'm not going to sell him. If he embraces the bench role, the Cup and European goalkeeper, but not the starter in the Premier League, there's no need to. I really like David Raya, man. Fans' favourite. I'm going to keep him here as our backup goalkeeper for those Cup and European games. Anyway, big game here. Probably the biggest of the series. 5th one of today's episode. And like at Anfield, I kept my philosophy the exact same. After winning the first leg, 5-3 against the Reds, I thought, how do we get our goals in the first leg? Bending shots into the far post. Alisson, for some reason, just can't stop them. So in the second leg, I knew we'd get chances like we did in the Northwest. Ademola Lookman runs through one-on-one and bends it in to the far corner. We didn't need to score tonight. If we conceded less than one, we'd be more than one, then we'd be going less than one, then we'd be going through. But after Lookman gave us the lead, I thought, I know I can't defend against Liverpool, but I know I can score against them. De Silva, the captain of the night, makes it 2-0 Brentford. And at this point, I was thinking, it's over. It's over. I can't believe we're going to our first cup final. We did the job in the first, so we just need to keep our composure in the second, and we did. We scored 2 goals in the first half. In the second, Raya made an incredible save, and this is why we're keeping him here, to keep it at 2-0. Out of 11 minutes to go, Iwobi bends one to the back stick. And I'll tell you what, the former Toffee is having the time of his life right now as he leaps over the corner flag, makes it 3-0 Brentford. How good is it going to feel scoring 4 goals against Liverpool as a former Everton forward? The destruction Ademola Lookman put on Jurgen Klopp's Reds in this tie was there for all to see. 4 of our 8 goals scored by our number 9. Brentford 3, Liverpool 0. And whilst the Reds will grab a consolation goal later on, it's all it proved to be. There it is. It is over, and I'm absolutely buzzing. Brentford 3, Liverpool 1 in the second leg. 8-4 over 2 legs. An EFL Cup semi-final tie for the ages. Thoroughly deserved the win, though, in both legs too. In both legs. And I think that's the one thing I need to remind myself of more in this season now. You know, we've had scalps this season. We beat Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium. We beat Man City at home. We've now beat Liverpool back to back. I know these have been EFL Cup games and not Premier League, but even so, like, we can stand up to the big teams now. I think this season we've seen a major change in our mindset and our mentality as well. In previous years, we would have been going into those games thinking, yeah, if it was Premier League, I'll take a point and I'll be absolutely delighted to get it. But now we're targeting wins. We're being brave. We're going at these teams and we're attacking. We're not just sitting back, containing and looking to break on the counter. We're playing attack-minded, positive football, and it's what's wielding us results. We are through. First cup final to save, absolutely buzzing about it, and we've got Stoke City in the final. I'll be honest here, I really wanted Millwall, of course, taking on my favourite club. The side, of course, we knocked out in the EFL Cup quarter final last year, but it is going to be Stoke City just outside the playoffs. I don't think that'll be an easy final, but we are firm favourites for it, and all I'm saying is this. Please don't bottle it, man. Please don't bottle it. What a chance at silverware. And honestly, if I choke that final and lose to the Championship side, I will not forgive myself. It might take another while before we can reach another final. Please, man. What an opportunity, a major honour. Come on, Doxy boy. Don't choke now. Don't choke now. So, yeah, thought that was time for transfer deadline day. We had around £7.5 to £8 million in our budget, but really, I wasn't planning to do anything. We had another bid for Tuanzebe. Someone explain this to me. I've had so many bids for Tuanzebe. It's ridiculous. I've had like 10 offers for the guy this season. That's not even an exaggeration. Bayern Munich, the latest team, wanted to take the Red Devil. I asked them for an extortionate amount of money, and they said no. What I really wish you could do in FIFA is like what you can do in FM. As we sell one of our young goalkeepers to Preston, he's off the Deepdale, and that raises our budget to 9.5 mil. What I really wish you could do is set an asking price for your players. In FM, if you set an asking price, ordinarily AI clubs won't bother putting in a really low offer. They'll at least try and get close to the asking price. Whereas in FIFA, they just kind of go towards the valuation, the market valuation of your player. But to me, Tuanzebe's valuation would be more than 20.5 million because he's getting so many big bids from so many big European clubs. Spurs, the latest club's put in a bid. Nuno's taken on a new job at Spurs. Obviously, Conte's now taken over, and Nuno's decided to become head of transfer negotiations. Unfortunately for him, he failed this one catastrophically. Sorry, Nuno. As we walk him out the door, Spurs wouldn't meet 35 mil, so I said, all right, Nuno, off you go, son. So, yeah, another bid for I just couldn't stop laughing. Another one, this time from Celta Vigo. I thought, you know what, I just can't be bothered now. I was thinking about blocking offers, but I thought, I just want to see how many more clubs are going to keep putting in bids for Tuanzebe. He's not on a transfer list or anything like that. For those wondering, he's not on a transfer list, not at all. But for some reason, this season, Axel Tuanzebe has been more valuable than Bitcoin. Everyone wants him, and I really don't know why. It's crazy. I mean, look, he's a good centre-half. He's 27 years old. He's in the prime of his career. Still got many more years to come. An 81 overall is a really good starting overall, but I just couldn't understand why. Like, there's so many centre-halves that are as good as him and around the same age. Why does everyone want Axel Tuanzebe? Unbelievable. But transfer deadline day would end. It was incredibly quiet. We had a bit of a Chris directly afterwards. You know you always get his bids after deadline day ends. One for 14.5 mil from Bologna, but of course we said no. Big Chris is staying here. Might not always be in the first 11 or even on the first team squad nowadays, but I do like him. As a squad centre-half, that's what he's been turned into, and he does the job whenever he's called upon. So, yeah, deadline day ends. Really quiet January window. Did practically nothing in the end because, again, to be honest, we didn't really need to do anything. I mentioned it before when the January window opened. You look at this team, and this is the team we got between now and the end of the season. It's really good. It's a 4.5-star team. We're on the cusp of becoming a 5-star team. We're one of the top scorers in the Premier League. We've got a much better defence now. Justin Balo has come in and really improved. I think, to be honest, as a goalkeeper, he's been really solid this season after a shaky start. And we're in the top 4. We're 3 points clear of Chelsea in 5th right now. We've got the better goal difference record as well. Hey, listen, we're not going to catch Liverpool. We said it before. They're 12 points clear with 15 games to go. It's been Liverpool's title since Christmas, basically. So we know they're going to win the Premier League, but right now only 1 point separates the top 3, and we're 3 clear of Chelsea in 5th. So there really is no need, and there really was no need to do anything in January. We're into the Carabao Cup final now, FA Cup last 16. We're into the first knockout round proper of the Europa League, or second knockout round if you will. So no need to do anything. Keep the band together. That's what the board talked about at the start of the season, and that's what we've done. I trust this side, and I believe this side is capable of doing 2 things that I really want this season. First, getting into the Champions League for Season 5. That's my main aim, and we're going for it. But also, now we're into a cup final, we're into the second knockout round of the Europa League, and of course, into the 5th round of the FA Cup, a trophy. The board said at the start of the season they want us to get to a final. We've done that. Now I want to go one step further and pick up our first piece of silver. I trust that this team can do it. So, for the first game outside of the window, Leicester City away, King Power Stadium. Brendan Rodgers' side right now just about keeping their heads above water as they're facing the real prospect of relegation to the Championship. Put on a really fast start in this game against the Foxes, had the early chances, hit the woodwork twice, once through Tony and then Roberto, but not long afterwards, after peppering Kasper Schmeichel's goal with shots all throughout the first half, he would take the deserved lead. Roberto Gutierrez does it once again. 15 goals in 20 games. Can you tell this man is playing with a chip on his shoulder after last season? You best believe it. And 29 minutes into the game. Oh, it's an absolute beauty from Roberto. The goal machine bangs in his 16th of the year. And we saw earlier on this season the goal of the series through Stanley Young. With Stanley, you can't even keep the goal of the season, let alone the goal of the series. It's been taken over by this absolute thunderbolt. Half volley with the weaker left foot from Roberto. Oh, that is absolute perfection. And when I said he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, that's what I mean. He plays with fire. We know that. His game modelled after Luis Suarez. It is 2-0 Brentford, and it's Roberto Gutierrez's second of the game. He could have had a hat-trick as well in the first half after hitting the woodwork so early on too. So leading by 2, in complete control for the most part as well. We should have been home and dry at half-time really after all the chances we got. 25 minutes to go, Leicester will get back in the game. Half the deficit, make it 2-1 through the former Red Devil, Scott McTominay banging it in past Balo to make it 2-1. But to be honest here, we were a much better team throughout the course of the game, and again really should have been home and dry. Had my finishing been better, we would have been so. 19 minutes to go, this shot well saved by Kasper Schmeichel as we were still leading by a goal. I knew all we needed to do was get one more goal, restore the 2-goal cushion, and that would do it. But most importantly, I thought I defended really well in this game. Leicester, they got a really decent attack to be fair, despite their struggles this season, so I did well at containing them, and in stoppage time again, could have made it 3, but Kasper Schmeichel with another great save, and then Lingard smacks one off the post directly afterwards as the referee will blow for full time whilst this attack comes to an end. So final score at the King Power, Leicester 1, Brentford 2. The unbeaten run continues. No defeats since the turn of the calendar year. Leicester's woes continue, but for Brentford, we remain in the top 4 with a big win there. The scarves are raised, and I've talked about it this season. Brentford believe 2 things are on the line, and 2 things are definitely achievable. Silverware and Champions League football next year. If we keep this guy fit, there's no reason we can't do it. Roberto Gutierrez this year, 16 goals in 20 games. Man is just on fire. So following that, we saw the draw for the FA Cup last 16. And there it is, we've got Graham Potter's Brighton again, away from home. Manchester United versus Crystal Palace, Arsenal versus Newcastle, Man City versus Swansea. The other ties, including West Ham versus Luton, Leeds United versus Middlesbrough, Norwich versus the Blades, and Spurs versus Fulham in a London derby as well in the last 16. So yeah, Graham Potter's side right now, not even the best of seasons in the game. Was another bid. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop laughing because it just kept happening. Another bid for Axel Tuanzebe comes in, and again, we reject it, of course. This time Hertha Berlin, but he's staying here. And I had to show you his stats as well. Guys, can you work out why Tuanzebe is getting so many offers? He's averaging a 6.9, he's doing well, he's got great physicality, defensively he's alright. He's 27 years old, he's 81 overall, he's got 2.5 years left in his deal. Yet for some strange reason, every single club in European football wants Axel Tuanzebe. It's bizarre. It is truly bizarre because again, he's not on the transfer list, yet for some strange reason I can't work out. He is the most wanted man in European football right now, and I genuinely can't work out the reason. So if you have any ideas as to why this is, please let me know in the comments, because there's an abundance of centre-halves that are about as good as him, if not slightly better or slightly worse, and around the same age as well. But why everyone just wants Tuanzebe, I really can't work it out. It's like he's limited edition or something. I really don't understand it. But for the penultimate game of today's episode, second one of February, West Ham, David Moyes' side away from home. London derby here, aiming to keep ourselves in the top 4. And heading into the game right now, Roberto in fine form. We were tied at 0-0 after Tony went for that Frank Lampard versus Barcelona-esque chip from a tight angle. That's a throwback there. Putting it onto the roof of the net as it was still 0-0. I knew we'd get the breakthrough at some point. They were trying to keep him quiet, but you can't keep our top scorer quiet for long. Roberto Gutierrez with goal number 17. Blasts it past Lucas, makes it 1-0, and Brentford have what was a deserved lead. Whenever we seem to play West Ham, though, we seem to always have a really good game against them. It always seems to be really really fun and action-packed, so I knew the goals wouldn't stop there. Leading by 1, but not long afterwards, the Irons were back on their terms. It's Thomas Partey. I mentioned before, this guy scored against me last season. He's gone from Atletico to Arsenal and now at West Ham, captaining the side. Makes it 1-1 after Baylor made a great save on Donyell Malen. We couldn't prevent the rebound from being turned in. Thomas makes it 1-1, and in the second half, the game had ironically died down, but I knew there'd still be chances. 80 minutes to go, Lookman receives the ball from Stanley and bends it past the Polish goalkeeper and into the bottom corner to put us 2-1 up. It is so difficult of a decision to make on who starts between Lookman and Toney. Look, Roberto's always going to start. He's chasing the Golden Boot. He's our top scorer this year, but who plays alongside him, I really don't know. But with 13 minutes to go, you know, I talked about what's coming in today's episode. You know, the January window, the bizarre bids for Twansby, the 8 games, the Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg, you know, the FA Cup ties, big Premier League clashes. I didn't want to spoil the goal of the series and the stupidest goal I've ever conceded in FIFA. Yeah, Donyell Malen smacks in from 2 yards, an absolute calamitous mistake from yours truly. Oh, Ezri Konsa, get out of the way, please! I was launching the ball forward for a quick counter-attack with Justin Baylo. It smacks the back of the former Villa centre-half, and Donyell Malen, I found it quite funny, from 2 yards, literally blasted the ball in as if his life depended on it. West Ham 2, Brentford 2, and a big slip-up there away at the London Stadium. I'd say the result was probably right, a draw, but it was such a frustrating goal to concede because, again, I was just trying to launch the ball long for a very quick counter-attack. We know that Baylo's got a really high kicking stat, but it just deflected directly off the back of Ezri Konsa. And, of course, who's it going to fall to? Donyell Malen, 2 yards out from goal. Typical, right? But hey, listen, I've got to take the blame for it. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's unfortunate, but it's still my fault. I should have waited before the area was clear before trying to launch the ball forward. My mistake, hold my hands up. It's 2 points dropped, and it's dropped courtesy of yours truly. My mistake, hold my hands up, no doubt about that. But at least the undefeated streak would stay alive. And for our final game of today's episode, 8th and final of today's episode here, Southampton here at the Community Stadium, looking to return to winning ways against Ralph Hasenhüttl side, our final game before the EFL Cup final against Championship side Stoke City. We wanted a big win, we wanted to make a statement, we wanted to return to winning ways, we wanted to do it in style. We're early on into the game, inside the first 10 minutes, Stanley Young gives us the lead and Brentford take the early advantage. And 15 minutes in, looking for our second, Maitland-Niles finds Gutierrez, rolls it through to the Silva, back to Lookman, and a really nice team goal. He's Adam Mola bag our second. I don't know. I think I need your help with this one, guys. Who starts in this team alongside Roberto Gutierrez? Is it Lookman or is it Toney? Because I feel as though Gutierrez and Lookman probably now have a better partnership, but Toney is Roberto's mentor. I just don't know what to do. Can they coexist? Can I have all 3 of them in the starting 11 at the same time? I guess the only other alternative is we drop Mbuemo to the bench and have Lookman as the attacking midfielder, where of course we know he can play. I really don't know, but then can I take Mbuemo out? Considering how good he was last season, he's transitioned brilliantly into an attacking midfielder. I just don't know what to do. It's a dilemma and then some. Does one of these 3 players need to be sold and sacrificed? I really don't know, but still, we were leading by 3 at this point. 3 goals up on the Saints. Ryan Niambo still searching for his first goal for the club, smacks the woodwork as we were still leading by 3, and then right for the break, the Saints looking for a lifeline. Ollie Yinka rolls it through, but Adam Armstrong denied by a fantastic save by Justin Baylo. His one-on-one stopping ability is probably the best I've seen in a goalkeeper I've been using in this year's FIFA. Keeps it at 3, and because we stopped the Saints from getting a lifeline and a route back into the game right before the break, in the second half I felt a lot more confident. Had the Saints scored from their attack there, I thought possibly, just possibly, they could get back in this game, but instead in the second half they were just missing confidence, for really not playing very well. And as we get our 4th goal here, Niambe crosses the back stick, Ollie Watkins off the bench bags our 4th. And we're talking about strikers and who starts in this team. Poor old Ollie Watkins. He's never going to be a starter, but to be fair, as a squad striker, he's doing really well since coming in from Aston Villa. So 4-0 Brentford. At this point, the points were completely in the bag, no doubt about it. With the Saints playing a high press game, I've talked about it before, that is such a dangerous thing to do against a rapid counter-attacking side like ours. They came forward, they lost the ball to Sean Pratt. We quickly work our way forward ourselves, and Stanley Young bags his brace, makes it 5-0 Brentford. And what a way to end today's big bumper Thankyou special as well. What's the episode number? 5-0? What's the scoreline? 5-0. Yeah, sorry guys, couldn't resist the hey. There we go. Brentford 5, Southampton Southampton 0, and right now our charge towards the Champions League continues. One of the most dominant wins I've had in this year's FIFA, and what a fantastic way to wrap up what's been the 30-minute thank you special for hitting 50 episodes. Guys, I want to end the episode by saying thank you so very much. Your support since the very first episode has been absolutely incredible. I have been so grateful for all your love, all your appreciation. You guys have been an amazing audience. I am so thankful to have you all. It has been one of my favorite career modes in years. I'm so glad you guys can tell how much I'm enjoying it. I'm loving this save, and the season is not done yet. There's 12 games to go in the league. We know we're not going to catch Liverpool, but we're now 6 points clear in the Champions League places, in second place right now. We're into the last 16 in the FA Cup, the second knockout round Europa League, and what comes in the very next episode? Our first ever cup final. Come on, Brentford. That was this episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching the special. I really hope you have enjoyed. If you did, then please do drop a like to show your support and help the channel out. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for our first ever cup final in the very next episode very soon.